Yo, fellas. So, in some way, shape, or form, the NBA couldn't have scheduled this out even worse. We got a week off of NBA basketball with the Dallas Mavericks closing out Minnesota Timberwolves last week, Thursday. We got to wait a full calendar week until Thursday, June 6th, when they tip off in the finals against the Boston Celtics. So I'm really excited. I know the betting odds favor Boston. I think last I checked, they were they're somewhere in the 200 range, like minus 235, minus 250 for the series. I believe Dallas was like plus 180-ish for the series. I personally feel like it's a coin flip with the way Dallas is playing. Like, you got two dudes on the ball who could create like that and find open shooters. And listen, when it comes to closing time, like, you can't ask for two better options at the guard position than they have in Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. Not much is said about Boston this postseason. A lot of people feel like they kind of sleptwalk their way to the finals, which is true.
Skating away, man. Skating away.
Yeah, but, at the same time, they can only play the teams in front of them, right? So, granted, Halliburton got injured. They swept them. There were 3 games in that series that the Pacers had a 90% chance of winning within the closing minutes.
They were leading.
They fumbled it every single time. So that gives you a little bit insight into Boston's fortitude. They're a 60-plus win team for the season. Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown has led them this entire season, playing lights out. Granted, it's felt easy for them. Kind of feel like we're low-key underestimating them for the finals.
Yeah.
So talk to me about what you guys think. I think personally it's going 6 games either way. I don't know, man. I'm feeling coin flippy right now. I can't wait to see game 1 and what kind of defensive assignments players are getting and who's doubling.
Can we backtrack real quick?
Go ahead.
Can we talk about 72 out of the 124 points came from Luka and Kyrie Irving last Thursday?
Oh, it was game time.
Listen, it was just like all right.
Yeah.
We have an opportunity to keep these guys at home. We don't got to send them to Galveston. We go back to Texas. Let's wrap them up. Wrap them up. Put them in a body bag. They get to stay home. You know what I'm saying? They don't got to travel.
Land of many leagues, Lace. Go fishing.
Yeah, Lakes of Minnetonka, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Go fishing. Go hang out with Prince.
Give them boys some men's shoes. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And wade in the waters of Lake Minnetonka. But in any case, they those guys played great, bro. And Luka, he came out on a heater. Did he not?
Flames.
It was just there was one point where it's like he couldn't miss.
Flames.
Yeah.
All flames.
We've seen times like this in the playoffs where one guy's going off and you're just like, yeah, this is a problem. Because it's just he came out and it was just I'm winning this game in the first quarter. It's over. Yeah. We're not letting you in. We're not giving you hope. We're not letting the crowd get into it. I'm pulling up right now. If I gotta go for 20 in the first quarter, I'm gonna do it. And that's exactly what he did.
And FJB, he was cussing niggas stink in the crowd, bro.
Yes, he was there.
He was cussing people stink in the crowd.
He had the one sidestep 3 fading left, and Ant was just like,
nothing I can.
And I was just like, yeah, long night.
You gotta really commend Jayson Kidd for really getting this team to play this way. You know what I mean? Because you look back, and I said I think we talked about the last series. They had the best defensive rating from January all the way to the playoffs. And the thing is, we think of the Mavericks. Never in your life have you ever thought about a Mavericks team playing defense.
Yeah.
Back to
high offense, yeah.
High offense.
Don Nelson, right?
Don Nelson. Was it Rick
Carlisle? Nash and Nowitzki?
Yeah, was it Rick Carlisle? Rick Carlisle. They won the one with Rick Carlisle, right? When he was a coach?
2011, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
With Tyson Chandler, Jayson Kidd, Jason Terry.
Right, you know what I'm saying? So you've never thought of it being a defensive prowess team, but man, I think he just really pulled those guys to the side. I was like, look, this is where you become a champion, right here.
But it starts with their 2 bigs, bro.
Yeah.
First of all,
it starts with their 2 bigs, Gafford and
Lively.
And Lively.
First of all, Luka's on record saying Lively is not a rookie. He's just I don't know how this guy's a rookie, but This dude is mean, and we saw it time and time again in this last series because Minnesota, their only time having like real success was when he was out, but when he was in the middle, like you can't double Kyrie or Luka at the top because he was let's put it like this, as Knicks fans, he was basically like our version of Josh Hart, basically being able to get the ball in the middle, free throw line extended, and make that extra pass, like, and it was right every single time. Like,
and FJB, the fact that there's no drop coverage with those dudes, they don't believe in drop coverage.
Yeah,
try to drive around, and then you got Derek, what's his name, coming off Derek Jones Jr. coming off the edge to come over to help. So it's like, what do? You know what I'm saying? They played excellent defensive basketball, locked them boys up. Cat, where was he?
Disappeared.
He had a terrible series, bro.
Yeah.
And you see, this is when you talk about superstar players and guys that can make an impact on the game. You look to them to be the dude. You know, Ant Edwards, Baby Jordan comparisons aside, he's only 22 years old.
Yeah, and he
this
can
is
do
his
so much.
first.
He's gonna do so much.
This is his first big dance in Western Conference and everything.
You can tell he was exhausted too.
He was tired, bro. But Cat, you expect more from him. You know what I mean? He became more of a jump shooter than someone who was a presence in the paint, which is exactly what they needed.
But I'll be honest. Do you think a lot of that jump shooting he had was due to that injury? You know what I mean? He didn't want to go down there because he did have that scare the last.
Who's that? Anthony Edwards?
No, Cat.
Cat.
He had that scare with his knee. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I think
maybe
that does enough. That does enough against Denver.
He's also the self-proclaimed best shooting big of all time.
Exactly.
So, he kind of fell He fell into that moniker. Like,
you did it to yourself, buddy.
You did it to yourself, bro.
Listen, dude is like on record in the post game talking about he's getting 1,500 shots up a day, and Draymond called cap. Like, bro, you're not getting 1,500 shots up. Not now. Not in the playoffs. But like, he caught fire in game 4 when they won, and he was all right in game 5, but like, mostly, as you guys mentioned, mostly just missing for a good portion of this series. And, Ant being that young dude, kind of doing what he needs to do on offense and trying to guard Kyrie on defense. Like, Cat was that guy. Cat was that second guy who needed to come in and step up, which, kind of brings me back to a couple years ago with Jimmy Buckets, right? Like, he's just like, these guys ain't serious. They don't take this serious enough. I'm trying to win. Obviously Andrew Wiggins is not part of that team anymore, but Cat's still there. So, it kind of just makes you wonder, like, how far, can they go? Can he be their second guy? Which I think, if he played better, if he alone played better, this series goes 6. But
totally different.
Those first 3 games, like, you just can't erase that. Yeah.
But are we playing ourselves thinking that the Boston Celtics, because they have all world defenders, right? You got Derek White. You got
they
Holiday.
have 4 options. They have 4 options for Luka.
Yeah.
4.
But are we thinking like now? Let's backtrack a little bit. And yes, Luka hasn't met any. Well, he played against the number 1 defense in the NBA. He absolutely torched it, right?
That's what I'm saying. So it's like.
Do we think that? And I pose this question to you, FJB. Do we think that Derek White and Holiday and those bodies are enough to slow those guys down so that Boston can go on those those lengthy runs of 3-pointers and getting up and down the court?
No, it's not. But what we also didn't see last round, Minnesota had 2 guys to score. Boston has 5. So this series might not come down to who's gonna stop Luka. It's gonna be, can Dallas stop Boston? Like, granted, we know they're a 3-point shooting team. They live and die by it. But they got Derek White that can go off and hit 7 threes. They got Porzingis that can go off and hit 5 and 6
Is he
threes
back?
himself.
Is he ready? Will he be ready?
I would think
Likely.
so. Like,
Likely.
So the talk was he should have been ready for game 3 last round. I think they just put him on bubble wrap like this series. Once they went up 2-0 and they saw Halliburton is down, they're like, nah, we're saving you. Yeah, we saving you for the finals. So not only did they, they sent them packing really early, they then had a week off from competition, which, only makes it better for him. So I think he'll be ready to go game 1. But, as I said, like, they got shooters. And now with Porzingis back, you got Al Horford coming off the bench. You got Cornette coming off the bench. You got Hauser coming off the bench shooting. You got Peyton Pritchard coming off the bench.
Cornette, my bad. Cornette is okay. Because I know he left with an injury last a couple games back.
I think he might be. He might be. I mean, even if he's not, they still got Brissett. They could put in there in spurts, but it's the finals. We're probably gonna only see 8 guys from both teams anyway. Like we're not gonna be going 10 deep. Like maximum 9 guys. If someone's in foul trouble, you're probably gonna see an 8-man rotation. So it's likely just gonna be some Porzingis with Al Horford sprinkled in there. You know.
Speaking of guys coming back from injury, from what I understand, I've read some reports on Twitter. Maxi Kleber might be back.
He played in game 5.
He played game 5.
Was it game 4?
No, he played in game 5.
He didn't play. It was game 5. He didn't play a lot of minutes, did he?
No, but he got a couple of shots up. That game was in the bag.
Maxi Kleber is a very helpful addition for them. I mean, alongside guys that aren't necessarily offensive threats, more like lob threats. You know what I mean? So it helps to space the court, give more space and room for Luka and Kyrie to work. I mean, I don't know, man. I kind of not low hanging fruit, but I kind of low key like Dallas, man.
I think you know what it is.
They have a puncher's chance.
What about Dallas?
They got more than a puncher's chance. More than a puncher's chance.
I think about Dallas. What I like about them is they're not afraid of taking mid-range shots. Whereas, like with Boston, they fall
in love with the three. We've said this before.
Yeah, but it has to come a time where you got to realize, okay, we got a cakewalk with what we had. You know what I'm saying? But now we're going against a team that has like 2 perennial superstars on their team. You know, it's a different level. You know, they didn't run into anybody like that. You know, Miami, Jimmy was out. They played against a Cavs team that were just they were just happy to beat it. Like I looked at the Cavs, they were just like, oh, we made it. Oh, which is why I said if they played against the Magic, I think the Magic and that young team would have given them a really run for their money because it's something that they didn't see yet. And then against this Indiana team, I think Adam Silver was praying and wishing that the Knicks won game 7. Because even if the Knicks got swept, it would have been a better draw than watching what it was. Because that was just...
Bro, you see, I watched that Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart pod where they were having basically their season in review. And they were like, it made me feel a little bit better this morning. They were like, we texted Tyrese and we were just like, y'all was talking all that crazy. Y'all beat us in game 7. Y'all couldn't get one. Y'all could, like, we could have went there.
We get one.
Exactly.
Like, y'all was talking spicy. Like, y'all was talking crazy. Y'all shooting the best shooting percentage in the playoffs like ever. And then y'all go there and like, what's up?
Another thing, right? We talk about injuries because Tyrese Halliburton. First of all, the Knicks were decimated by injury, but you ain't hear a peep from one of our players come talking about injury was a hindrance to us being able to move forward out of the semis, right? Yeah. This dude, the first thing that comes out his mouth, the healthiest
team wins.
Like, bro,
nobody want to hear that. Yeah. Nobody want to hear that.
You have one player who's out for the rest of the season. It was Mathurin, right? Was it Mathurin?
Yeah.
Mathurin out for the rest of the season. And it's like, okay, you're missing one guy, and Nembhard played out of... Guys were playing out of their mind. You know what I'm saying? It's just that y'all can't roll with the big dogs. Y'all can't play defense.
They couldn't replicate it. Like,
y'all can't play defense. At the end of the day, it's about getting stops at critical moments and being able to go on runs that put games away at critical times. Two teams that we see in the finals have done that, and they've earned their spots.
Yeah. All right, so let's wrap it up real quick. Darnell, who wins how many games, and give me like a 30-second reason why.
I'm gonna say this.
Remember your prediction last week, if you can.
Who was it? I think I did pick Dallas, didn't I?
I don't know, dog.
I think I picked Dallas.
I don't think so.
I'm gonna go Dallas. No, I think I picked Boston. I think I did pick Boston. But I'm kind of on the fence about it, But I think I think Boston, if they get Kristaps back, I think they'll win. They'll finally close. I think Jaylen Brown is right now he's getting a moniker of the best player on that team right now. The fact that he got the MVP in the Eastern Conference Finals, he's where the light's going on. You know, so I think Boston will probably get them in 6. I think Boston in 6.
John.
Nah, I don't want to be the one to flip flop because last week I said Boston in 6, right? Yeah. But like to Darnell's point, like the only bright spot that I can see, well, the only consistency that I see with the Boston Celtics team is Jaylen Brown. He will come to play. He will ball out. You know what I'm saying? He will be the constant in that series. Nobody's gonna be able to hold him. Yeah. But then the question remains: can Jayson Tatum can come up big in spots where he needs to be able to come up big and be the guy in the finals? I don't know if I see it.
Yeah.
I think that Luka, Doncic, and Kyrie Irving are a 1-2 punch that have gelled at the right time of the season, and you're seeing what they can do and how they can build on the talent that they have, even if they get knocked out in the NBA Finals, right? Let's say they don't win, but I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna be that dude. I'm gonna say Dallas in 6.
All right. Well, I'm going Boston in 6. I think they split the first 2 games. They split the first 2 games. They're gonna split the second 2 games. So they'll split in Boston. They'll split in Dallas,
and then 2 straight.
Then they're gonna win back to back. I feel like Boston has too much firepower. Boston has a spread offense that Dallas hasn't necessarily played against. There's always been like some liability, and Boston just can put 5 guys on the floor that can shoot and defend at the same time. And I think that's just going to be too much for Dallas to overcome. Will I be surprised if Dallas win the series? Absolutely not. But I'm going with Boston in 6.
Yep. I think that's a caveat. Right. I think we got our set, but we're saying we're not too sure. We're on the fence so much. But we're leaning to one side, but we could just get yanked to the other side with the other one. So,
am I a hater if I want to see Boston lose?
No, you're honest. You're honest. I think
I don't want to see.
Y'all do. Nobody wants Boston to win outside of
Boston.
Outside of Boston, bro. Just like with the Patriots, outside of people in New England, nobody cares. Absolutely nobody cares.
Fuck them dudes, man. Seriously. But we're in for a good finals.
Yeah, I'm an avid Bill Simmons podcast listener, so nothing would delight me more than to hear him after Boston, if Boston loses, with Luka torching him and Kyrie, revenge series. I'll be refreshing that Monday. But yes, sir.
His smug nose in it.
Take us out of JB.
Yes, sir. That was the NBA Finals preview. Like, comment, subscribe. Ask us questions. We definitely interact with all our fans. Hit us up on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok. You know where to find us.
All of that, baby. Peace.